What up?
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so I would like to tell you a story that I'm confident I've told you before. I don't know if I've told you here, but let's just do it.
Tell me all about it.
I will.
Start from the beginning.
The beginning is this. When I was 14 or 15, which was like over 20 years ago. Oh, shit. Okay, over 20 years ago, when I was a wee lad. No, that's not right. So, in between middle school and high school, in between 8th and 9th grade, I got my ass a job, right? So, the job was, picture a triangle. High school is one end. Right next to the high school is are like duplexes, like little houses or whatever. And then the triangle between them, like further out, is the fast food job, right?
Okay.
So if I'm at the fast food job, I can either walk to the neighborhood of houses or just walk a little ways and then go to the school. So when I get this fast food job, I meet my BFF, right? My friend, she is freaking 13. She got a job at 13. But we instantly bonded. I want to write a whole book about her life. We'll see if that happens. I really would like to. Anyway, so I meet this fascinating creature who's young and has a job, who's young and in charge. And she has this crazy-ass life. So this is the person I love. This is my new BFF. Okay, so that was during the summer. And when school starts, it's perfect. Like when high school starts, it's awesome because after, like, I think you could leave for lunch. I don't really remember. I have a shitty memory. But I'm pretty sure you could leave during lunch. All I know is we left during lunch. We would go walk across the field and go to the place she was living at, right? And we did this for, I don't know, a month or so. And then quickly it became one of those things where we just would never go back to school. We would just leave. And it just, I don't know, it was kind of goofy because this isn't actually the story. This is just building up. I'm sorry. I'm a female. This is how I tell stories. Okay, so like I said, it started, we'd leave for lunch, and then we just stopped going back. And then eventually it just progressed to, we'd get to school at first period, and then we would be like YOLO. We'd be like, peace out, right? And we just would pretty much never go to school. So, and her mom was at home. So she was not discouraging. I think she kind of encouraged us to come spend time with her. She was that kind of a lady, which would make a great child to tell stories about their life. Okay, so I'm hanging out with her and her mom and another friend, and that was our life. That was our 9th grade year, halfway through. And here's the thing. Even though I knew I'm not doing the right thing, I'm completely oblivious to social norms. Like, I'm not willfully ignorant. I'm not trying to ignore it. Like, I definitely have a sense. I'm not so dense that I have no idea that I'm doing some craziness. But there is a depth of oblivion. You know what I mean? It's like, I know this is not what I should be doing, but I cannot tell you for the life of me why I need to be going to school. Like, it just could not figure it out, right? So then, what do you call that? Like, the finals at the end of the semester? Okay, so finals come up, and we're like, oh, we should go to school today because it's finals. That just like sounds right. That just sounds like a day you go to school, right? And that morning, my BFF's stepfather, who was like 19 at the time, I think I was like 15 at this point, and she was 14. He was 19, her stepfather. He was like, don't go to school. Let's go to the mall. Let's go to the mall and buy your mom some sort of gift. And I don't know why I don't know where her mom was. That's kind of a strange thing. But the mom wasn't there, and the stepfather was, and we were like, well, that sounds pretty logical to me. Sounds like there's nothing here to argue. You've got a solid request. So we skipped finals and went to the mall, and it seriously felt like every other day. Like, who cares? Like, we're at the mall. We're not at school. All is right with the universe, right? That was until my other friend, whose mom didn't request we hang out with her during school hours, when my more functional friend's mom rolls up after school and sees my friend, and she swore at her daughter. She was so pissed. And she's like not a parent who swears at her kids, but she was like, I don't know what she said, like, what the fuck, like, I don't know, she flipped out. Okay, so then it was like, oh shit, maybe we should have gone to finals. Now that I've set the scene, that wasn't the story, that was just setting the scene. So because I skipped finals in 9th grade, they kicked me out. They're like, you're too rough to handle. You Clint Eastwood, we need to send you to a school that can handle some Clint Eastwood. I was like, all right. No, who's the other guy? Who's the other Chuck Norris?
Okay.
Maybe I was more of a Chuck Norris. I don't know. I'm just signing myself up for these cool names. I don't even know shit about these guys. Do I? Do I know anything? Okay. So this Chuck Norris over here gets sent to alternative school. Alternative school had like the huge area where if you like, I guess, got caught doing drugs at school, I don't really know. Like, I know that like the drug students and the youthful pregnant students, everybody was congregated in this huge room with lots of like safety looking windows and lots of adults. So it was this huge room. But if you walk past that room, you get to the very back where there's these two little rooms. Side note, this alternative school used to be a grocery store. Our classroom was so cold, everyone's like, I think this was the meat locker. Okay, so our classy school / former grocery store. So if you walk all the way to the back, past the rowdy kids, past all the cool kids that are fucking social butterflies and know how to have a good time, they see the shortness of life. They just go for it. I think they're Chuck Norris. Who the fuck am I? Okay. Anyway, so past all the cool kids is this tiny little room with, I think there was a limited amount of students you could put in the room, because it turns out, and I know I said this somewhere on one of these audios, that it turned out because I was sitting in class and this kid behind me would always be asleep all day, and the teachers never like woke him up. I kind of, looking back, I wonder if he was on like some sort of like psychotic medication or whatever. He just kind of zonked him out.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was always asleep and he was behind me. This is the first year I was there. And one day I turned to him, like I turned around and he like put his head up and he said something, and it just led to a light conversation. He was like, yeah, that's why we're in this emotionally disturbed classroom. And I was like, what? I'm in the emotionally disturbed classroom? What? I was like, I thought I was just being YOLO. I didn't realize that I qualified for madness. But looking back, I probably did. Well, I definitely did. It was on the paperwork. It was like, they were like, your daughter is kicked out of this school. We need to send her along to some Chuck Norris. And they had two rooms to choose between. And they looked at my paperwork and they were like, oh no, she definitely needs to go into the crazy house. No offense. I was there, so I guess I can make these kind of jokes. Still sounds inappropriate. Okay. Scratch that. So, this is also more backstory. Let's get to the real story.
Okay.
I know, you're short
sucker.
on time. You need this story to end. All right, let's get there. Fuck, I'm thirsty. Okay. So I'm in this classroom. Dude, I would like to give a huge shout out to the awesomeness of that classroom. I could go on a tangent, which I am not going to do, about how much that room like helped me grow as a person, because the teachers were, I think they weren't qualified teachers, but they were there and kind of communication they had, I don't know, it really helped me grow as a person. I like talking to adults. So my like 15-year-old self like having real talk with adults, right?
Yeah.
And it was nice, like, I don't know, I didn't relate to anybody in the room, so I spent a lot of like time to myself. It was good. It was good. It was not like the death of high school. It was something unique. Back on track. There was no tangent there, I swear. Okay. So I'm in this classroom. I feel like there should be like quotations. I'm in this room. There we go. I'm in this grocery store. I'm in this grocery store room. And I fall asleep. And back then I had a beeper. Okay, like a pager. It was blue. It was cool looking. Kind of looks like Anyway, moving along. No more tangents. I'm glad that.
Continue.
Okay, so I have this beeper, and I fall asleep in class. And in this dream, this is the story. Okay, so I hope this is satisfying you. This is the story. There's no more stories after this. Okay. I fall asleep in class, and I dream that I'm at work at that fast food place.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason in this dream, I'm next to the, what do you call it? Like the dishwater? Like the, whatever.
Sink.
Thank you. So I'm next to the sink, like the 3-part sink with like gallons and gallons, like a mammoth amount of water. And for whatever reason in this dream, my beeper somehow ends up in the water. And in my dream mind, in my dream eyes, I can see the beeper like slowly sinking to the bottom of, it was like a movie, you know? Okay. So it gets to the bottom, and then I wake up in class. Okay, because my beeper went off, so I woke up. And I looked at my beeper, and all the numbers were scrambled, like it had fallen into water. Dude, what do you make of that? I need your professional opinion. Okay, here's my question. Was it the chicken or the egg? What caused what? What was it? How in the world, anybody who has some sort of intuitive logic.
Maybe you were dreaming so hard that you were sweating and your pocket got wet.
I don't sweat very easily. Next reason. Let's hear it. What else you got? Well, it wasn't wet. It wasn't like it was wet. It just looked like it was destroyed.
Were you still working at this place?
I probably, yeah.
Maybe you were washing dishes and you spilled a bunch of water on your pants.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was at school. What? No. All right. Take a hike. Peace. All right. That is it. That is the story. Do you feel like you know me better as a person?
Yes.
Do you feel like you should not know me better as a person? You feel like too much TMI?
I learned a lot.
Seriously, if anybody has any sort of conclusion, some sort of intuitive, mind-reading, clairvoyant, I don't know. Why? Okay, who cares? Peace.